Go.
Go drum rolls. Yeah.
All right. Okay, welcome back, viewers. This is episode number 42, and we have a very special guest today with us, Mr. Savio Marian. So, Anmol, I'll let you do the honors. Please introduce Savio. Uh,
So I will start with an informal introduction because me and Sabi initially we met via LinkedIn. I was just talking to and reaching out to people, and some I think I liked some post of Savio. It came out through a friend's like or something, and then I just sent him a connection request. And then when I sent him a connection request, I started talking to him. I asked him because at that point of time I started Crobstacle, so and even on his profile it showcased that he has gotten into a business, and it was pandemic time, we were all struggling with it, and so then I just went
right.
and I talked with Savio. Hey man, what you are doing? I started with the conversation like this, I remember. And then we both started talking, we started chatting. He told me his experience in this industry, and then he told me that he also helped Google set up their ad network. He has worked with JP Morgan and Chase. When he told me all of this, all of these things, I think we connected over a Google Meet as well. And Xavier told me that he is going to visit USA at that point of time to meet some of his investors that he are going to get for his this company that he is currently working with. So, like Xavier, I would like to, welcome you to this episode, and we would like to also hear from you about a bit more about yourself.
So, what has happened since the COVID bubble has burst, Savio?
Lot of things. Thank you for that introduction, Anmol, and thank you for
If I
having me,
missed
Ashwin
anything,
and
Xavier,
Anmol.
you can add.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Anmol is absolutely right. I mean, it started almost in 2020, I believe. So
Yes,
we've been connected for almost 3 years now,
yes.
and at that point in time, I had just started, and I was. I think I had finished one of my travels, and I was supposed to go for my second travel. I believe at that point in time, Anmol had uh, interacted with me, and that's where everything started. But yeah, I mean, it's been a very long journey with JP Morgan Chase, then ADP, then almost close to a decade with different Google teams, I would say. I was with Regalix, the Google on-site team of Google on-site UK team. That was my first year, and it was, trust me, it was an altogether new thing because a lot of my colleagues were at a certain level in JP Morgan Chase at that point in time. So they were like, "Hey, listen, are you taking the right decision?" But I would say early part of 2010s, it was 2013, 2014, I would say, when I joined this team. And a lot of people said, "Hey, you moving to the Google on-site team, not a wise decision, leaving JP Morgan Chase, ADP. Hey, what are you doing, man? What the
Right,
hell are you doing?" That's the kind of a reaction I got. Friends, family, everybody, parents
right,
as well. So that's how it was. And almost after take two, after those 7 8 years of my stint with three different Google on-site team and some of the biggest Google projects, which I made them successful. Of course, I had some very big teams with me, Ashwin and Anmol.
right,
So yeah, 2020, I thought of starting my own kind of a my own set of like what people call today solopreneur or entrepreneur. But of course,
right.
solo is not possible. I would say a team works really well, and that's how I started. I moved with my partner in Global Digital Online. So we are two partners, Gary Monroe, who's in LA, and one is Sunny Dudeja, who's in India. Trust me, I got all the support from them, but you really need support when nobody in your family has been an entrepreneur. And only you get started, and you have a wife shouting at you, "Hey, listen, will you get your salary at the end of the month?" So that's how
I,
things were
I
when
I
we
can
started.
completely identify with that part. Anmol would, but I can.
I understood from Ashwin's laugh.
So 2020, 17 years passed. JP Morgan Chase, ADP, three different Google on-site teams with Regalix, Intellinet, and then Cognizant, one of the biggest Google projects. Of course, now all these teams have moved into GOC, which is a part of Google Operated Center, GOC. And
Right,
so a lot of my guys have moved from from Cognizant, Accenture to GOC now. And of course, I keep getting updates of exactly what's happening with generative AI, what Facebook and Google are doing together, what Apple and Google are doing together.
Mhm.
So, yeah, things have changed. It's been a pretty interesting journey, guys. And 2020, September, October, I started this. I became a partner with Global Digital Online. It was already a 29-year-old company then,
Mhm.
and I met this guy in Los Angeles, California, Gary Monroe, and he kind of, instilled the belief that, hey, listen, you can do business. At 40 you can do something in life. That's what he told me.
Right.
So that's how the journey started, guys. And it's been four, 3 plus 4 years, I would say, successful years now. And I've been consulting a lot of businesses in the US. And predominantly, my consults have been in New York and Los Angeles. Yes, I've covered a lot of territory when it comes to different states like Texas and other states like Nevada and I would say Portland, Oregon, all these places. So a lot of people have been, and most of the guys, I don't do a lot of selling. I would say one consult gets me another 2 or 3 referrals. That's how it is. That's what
Right.
happens with me. So that's how it is, guys.
That's how pretty much has been happening with us as well.
Yeah, same. It's the
So
same.
completely identify with you, Savio. And with the you can do it at 40, I completely agree with you as well. So I think you and I were sailing the same boat somewhere.
Yeah.
Great, man.
Yes,
So I have
yes.
somebody else as well who can
Right.
who can resonate my feelings. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I completely, I completely concur with that. Right. So Savio, I mean, you've been with Google, and I think you were part of Google when Googling term was being coined, right? I mean, it had recently been introduced, and people used to. It was a fashion to say, you go ahead, Google it, and I mean, now it has become, it's come into the dictionary, but that time it was more of a slang. It had come into the lingo, right? So let's get into the earlier phase of this digital marketing then and now, and how. Let's get into the in-depth strategies of Google search engine marketing and search engine optimization, how things have changed, and what are the strategies that are being employed today. So, what is your take as an expert on this?
Great. So I don't call myself an expert. However, do people call me an expert, like, subject matter expert on search engine marketing or paid advertising when
Right,
it comes to the US markets. But yeah, evolution, I would say, over the years, a lot of things changed. And yes, you're right. When I moved into this sphere, the whole thing,
right,
early 2010s, I would say, it was
right.
a different ball game altogether.
True.
A lot of things were done manually, whereas Google was telling the world that, hey, we are still doing, we started doing automations, but we were
Right.
not doing automations. That's how the evolution goes. So when I started with the UK team,
Hmm.
and a lot of things were kind of here and there. We were on the old Google Ads tool.
Hmm.
So that's where I started my optimizations from. Of course, over the years, the tool has evolved and it's changed a lot. It's become better. But I would still believe that, if you talk about novices or starters, that tool was much better. The one
Hmm.
which was in the 2012, 2013, 2014s, because you're able to identify exactly where the search campaign is, where the display campaign is, where the video campaign is. That time YouTube was just taking over, and that time when I started, we used to have video campaigns versus YouTube campaigns.
Hmm.
And from there, traditional advertising versus you have to explain to the masses, to the people, especially when it comes to businesses, that, hey, listen, Google has started advertising for your business, and we can take your business to your postcode, to your radius, to your target audience, to your geography, to the people, age groups, everything. All that sounded very interesting and very intelligent when we started explaining to the UK guys. And I remember the very first year with the UK team, when I hit the floor in my company, in my first Google profile, Regalix, the sales number was approximately, I believe, some 130 sales in a quarter. By 130 sales, I mean these are small businesses. dermatologists, plumbers, carpenters, small one-time websites. You calling these guys and telling them, hey, listen, your website can be monetized. You can have a kind of a responsive landing page where people will come on your website and fill up your forms, and you'll get calls, and that's how you explain to those guys.
Right.
And it was difficult to explain to the doctors and those small-time dentists versus the plumbers and
Yes.
carpenters. They would understand better. Like,
It still is. It still
It
is.
still is. Still, we are sailing the same boat. It's hard to make people
The
understand.
world hasn't moved
Yeah.
yet.
And also in
so
terms of the UI, I totally agree. When I first ran my first ad in 2017 on Google, the UI was so clear, and the current UI, which is there right now, it's so confusing. I'm not able to find anything. It feels like I'm on a new tool and everything has changed. So that I totally agree. And you and I, we had a conversation on it earlier as well. So when we were
yes, yes.
confused with the real
Life
estate,
becomes easier when you make life easy for people. That's what I believe. That
totally.
get a problem and solve the problem. A lot of people say when it comes to business, but I still believe that if an 80-year-old is watching the tool, that tool which existed in the between that 2012 and 2016 was really good. But coming back to the point, I hit a sale number of approximately 197, which was the highest in a quarter with the Google on-site team, which is the UK team. And that's where I realized that, hey, listen, I can do this on the field as well. I can go and meet clients, and a lot of things were happening then. And I moved out of the UK team, and I ventured out for 6 7 months in an agency in Mumbai, in South Bombay, where I come from. I'm from Bombay though, so
Mhm.
kind of had it easy for me because of course traveling in a local was always I've always done that. It was not
Right.
difficult for me, but I had to travel from Churchgate to Virar, Churchgate to different places in to Bhiwandi, meet these small and medium enterprises, explain
Mhm.
to them what Google can do for them. And in that profile of mine between 2016 and 2018, one of Google's biggest project came in where they were looking for people on the field, and they were just looking for 10 guys. So they hired 5 guys from Bombay and 5 guys from Bangalore, and they
Mhm.
needed somebody to head that team. And again, this is not a Google project, but it was a Google on-site project, which was a Google vendor project, and they wanted people to speak vernacular, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam. So the 5 guys who were hired in Bangalore, they covered the vernacular territories, the southern part of the country, and because my Hindi is really good, I covered Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, you know. So and
Right.
my Marathi is also good, so I covered Maharashtra as well.
Mhm.
So in that profile, when I got to know exactly where people were at that point in time, especially India market and Southeast Asia market, they were all traditional. They were moving from TAM, traditional advertising medium, to online advertising platforms. And not only Google, they were trying to explore other options as well, like Facebook and
Right.
Instagram, Twitter. They wanted to know more. Hey, Savio, can Twitter help me? They were very curious, the entrepreneurs that at that point in time. And this is the second half of the decade, I would say. And in that profile, Ashwin, Anmol, I covered a lot of territory, and over 2 years we met a target of approximately 18 to 20 million US dollars for Google. Of course, all that went to Google, and experience came to me. Success stories and failures had come to me at that point in time.
Right.
But I had an amazing team of those. We were an amazing team of 10 guys. We got to travel a lot. We used to go to Delhi and Gurgaon a lot. And
Mhm.
meet the country head of Google at that point in time, because it was a very critical project for them.
Right.
And we had some amazing guys who trained us. But training will not help when you're going into the smaller parts of the country, where this merchant somewhere in Mahabalipuram is selling saris, and he has a budget of 3 crores to spend for the year. So you
Wow.
have somebody in
Right.
Tamil to go and talk to him. That was the
Right.
most interesting thing. And you convert the deal, and he said, hey, listen, you have the 3 crore in your kitty, and you can spend it like
Mhm.
as you wish, but you have to have a strategy around it, right? Because somebody giving in India 3 CR is a big amount. It
So
can
at
be.
that point of time, you were hard selling this digital marketing to the local businessmen.
Local businesses, yeah. So the first year it was local business, Ashwin. Then they moved us to the Southeast Asia, and then
Right,
we
right.
also sold to the US market as well. But the first
Yeah.
year, trust me, it was where
The
in
most
India, of
interesting
course.
part is actually the local business selling to. I mean,
Yeah,
that is the toughest part that you've done.
exactly, exactly. And this is unheard of. I have hearing for the first time that someone has hard sell digital marketing to local businesses.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that reminds me of that. What was that movie? Google movie. I mean, with Owen Wilson and
Intern,
the internship, or yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that
Yeah.
reminds me of that.
yeah.
The guys like, hey, listen, you have to meet me. I don't know what Zoom and Google Meet is. You have to come and meet me. So you
Correct.
fly down to Chennai and then you take a bus and you go to that place. I mean, that was crazy, man.
Right.
So that was a success story which I came across. And like that, I had huge number of success stories when it comes to, but of course, behind that success story, there was a lot of hard work because, somebody sitting in Bangalore, I would say Hubli,
Mm,
something, those kind of traders, and Google started. Google knew that hey, listen, we are going to go vernacular as well. We're going
mm,
to go different kind of languages as well at that point in time. So
mm.
amazing, amazing. I would say a lot of learning, but I lost a lot of my hair at that point in time.
So another touchy point for me. Yeah.
So my wife told me that hey, listen, you're getting older now.
Yeah. Great. So now coming down to managing 250 plus members for the Google on-site team. I mean, how was it?
What was your
Good
experience?
question. So that was Cognizant, and it was a Google project for Cognizant.
Okay.
Again, a Google on-site team project. Like
Mhm.
now, everything is turned into GOC, Google operated centers. So yeah, between after that project ended, the one which we were just talking about, moving people from TAM traditional advertising, moving medium to online platforms. After that project, I took a break of 6 months,
Okay.
and I was not doing much. I was just consulting around in the markets, and I got this opportunity from Hyderabad. Somebody calls me, from Cognizant Digital Operations. Hey, listen, there's a big Google project coming up. It's into
Mm.
Opti scores, and this manager interviews me, the guy who will be my boss. And when he came on the screen, he was like, "Hey, I know you, like because from my previous project, he kind of we had this interaction, and he like, I know you, you can do the job." But the team was huge. It was almost 250 to 300. That's the team size it was.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I mean, if you've not done a lot when it comes to team management, and you get that kind of a size of a team, you get help from your bosses as well. So
Correct.
my VP and my director and my boss, he said, let's do it together.
Mhm.
And half the team was in Gurgaon, and half the team was in Hyderabad.
Okay.
uh, Three-fourth of the team was in Hyderabad. That's why I got to move to Hyderabad and kind of, beta that project. That was one of the most critical projects which Google had. Now that I'm out of Google, I can probably, tell you the pain points. What happened there is, so Google telling the world that, hey, listen, we have this automation going on, and at the back end, these 300 guys working on the optimization. A lot of things went on at that point in time, but I think
So
everything
what was going
evolves.
in your
Like,
head? What was going in your head when you knew what the truth was and what was being said in the public? What was
yeah, oh
actually
yes. I mean, so you are a trader, you are a merchant, you have an e-commerce website,
right?
you are a medium enterprise, and you spend approximately $100,000 every month, right?
Right.
So what Google did at the back end was they were experimenting on the Opti scores, how the system will throw recommendations, and the guys who were giving the recommendations was these 300 guys.
Oh,
Uh, it was not the Opti score or the automation, and
I
this
think the concept of telling our clients that we are going to experiment first has come from here only, Ashwin.
mhm, right.
The pitches are the same. Now I'm
Right.
realizing everything. It
That was for
it
search.
works.
Then they started it for shopping, guys. So
Right.
so that was the thing. But again, search and shopping this project was pretty successful. But I had to firefight with a lot of guys because if you're spending $100,000 and then you realize in a month, hey, listen, where did the half of 50% of the amount go? Because So then the escalation team comes to you, and you have to talk to them and tell them that this is how we have utilized the budgets. And some clients used to be happy, some clients you have to go ahead and talk to them, and it's an escalation. Then once the account starts performing better with those recommendations, which is the opti score, which is a score of 1 to 100, right? And the most interesting thing, again, I can tell you this because it's 4 years I'm out of it. uh, an agency goes and tells a client that, hey, listen, when OptiScores went live in 2020, okay, OptiScore 2019, it was done, the beta was done, and it went live across the globe. OptiScores, when it started throwing the recommendations for the search and the shopping campaigns,
Got
and when the agency says, you know what, I have configured your campaign in such a way that your score is 95 on 100. But I knew exactly that at 60 also I can configure your campaign 60 out of 100, and you can still get more sales versus the 95 score. Well, I know exactly which levers. I knew exactly which levers to touch on a search campaign. And
Okay.
that's the most interesting part. So I started solving the problems of a lot of the agencies at that point in time when I moved out of the team.
Okay.
And there I saved almost like 30 to 40% of the budgets of the clients, whereas an agency would have probably spent 120% of the budget. And
Mhm.
that's where I realized, hey, listen, I have to get this. And then I met these guys from Global Digital Online, and they said, let's do it together. Let's go to the market in the US. And you can consult the people around, because we know exactly what you're talking about. Trust me, I went to a lot of people in India as well, guys, and I love my country a lot. My my
Right.
grandfather served the army, but I didn't find a lot of guys who believed in me, guys. So
Right.
honestly, so
Right.
I found this guy and from LA, Los Angeles, California, and
Right.
I told him that I've worked on these many accounts, and I had a team of 250 to 300 guys. We were with my bosses, like team of 4 guys plus a team of another 30 to 40 guys. We had a team of almost who were pushing these 300 guys to get those opti scores up and running. And it was a magical kind of algorithm from Google, I would say, because I'm sure today also search works really well, but now that Performance Max has come into the picture, you have a lot demand gen campaigns are there. You
Yes.
have discovery campaigns, and now the latest thing I was reading yesterday in the afternoon, SGE. If you all know about SGE,
No.
so it's a search generated experience. The
Oh,
generative AI.
Okay. Yes. 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 Got it.
Yeah.
right.
So Google has a new CEO, a new lady who's joined in, not a CEO, but at a very high level, she's joined in, and she's the one who's pushing search generative experience on
All right. I didn't know
across
about
the.
this.
Yeah,
Right.
you should go and read about it. Search
Mhm.
generative experience. I'm sure there might be a beta going on. Again, I'm guessing, guys. Don't quote
No,
me
no.
on
If
this.
you search
No, no,
on
no. Of course
Google
not. Yeah.
on your from your mobile phone on certain topics, there is a generative AI result that you see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
So
can put
they
a
are
screenshot.
pushing that so that it makes life easy for people when it comes to the search world. But coming back to the point, so these are some new things which keep coming in, and I am always ahead of the game because I have a lot of friends who still with in New York and Mountain View, and I still keep connected with them. I brainstorm with them time and again. That's how I keep evolving, guys. Because sometimes if you come out of the field, and you become a coach, but still you're not playing, right? So
Right.
you have to keep yourself ahead of the game with those young guys who are 25, 30 year olds. And you have to keep maneuvering your intellectuality, I would say. Coming back to Ashwin's point, that team of mine of 300, that was an amazing experience because it was not 8 hours or 10 hours of work. Google will kill me if I tell you guys that I was working 16 to 17 hours a day. That's how my routine was. It's not easy. I mean,
No.
it's a Googler in US might work for 8 hours, but in India, it's a
In India,
completely
it is.
different ball game altogether. You're not a Googler. You're having a project with Cognizant, working with the Google on-site team,
Right.
the Google vendor side,
So
and you
we're
start your
still paying the teen guna lagan.
you start your
Right.
day at 8 o'clock and you end sometimes. You can't imagine end
Yeah.
your day at 1 o'clock in the night. So
True.
if there is an escalation that comes in, and because US starts in the evening, right?
Right.
So you go till almost 1 o'clock in the night, because those kind of processes might have an escalation, and then you have to move that escalation into a root cause analysis, and then that cause analysis goes into a either becomes a success story or a different kind of a story altogether.
Yeah, there are both sides of it. We totally get you here because we have also been doing the same. So the journey has been the same. Yeah.
So, so
So
Savio,
yeah,
what
go ahead.
so coming down to your methodology, like what is your methodology of getting like 5 to 10x profit and 30 to 45 days? Like what is the process you follow?
So methodology is, I would say keep things simple. That's very important,
Mhm.
and keep things relevant for yourself. That's why I talk to. I'm sorry, I might not be digressing on this, but I talk to 3 to 5 new decision makers every week, guys. I try
Mhm.
to. That's how I met Anmol, and this I'm not doing it ever since became an entrepreneur. I've been
Mhm.
doing this since 2015 or 2016.
Mhm.
I'll talk to everybody. For me, the most important thing, talk to a new person each day, so that you learn something. And
Right.
from there, this thing came. Then I started talking to businesses in that 2 year project which I told you, right?
Right.
Then I started talking to businesses on LinkedIn. Amazing tool. You can talk to new people. Hey, we are in the same industry. We're in different industry, and from there, the credibility factor comes into the picture. Now you spoke about 4x, right, or 10x,
Mhm.
depending on how we monetize ourselves or our business. The most important thing I've learned is to build credibility in the market is talk to people, give them the right probable solutions, and tell them that, hey, you need help, I'm there for you. Don't pitch them the the project and tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to charge you $3,000 or $5,000 at the start, and this is my rate card. I think the world doesn't work this way. It never worked 50 years ago. It will never work now in the future also, because people are talking to people. You might have generative AI today, which is artificial intelligence. I believe in human intelligence more, because humans emote well. We are talking, we are three human beings talking, right? If you guys are businessmen for me, I have to make you understand, hey, listen, I can do A, B, and C for you. What's not realistic is D, E, and F. It's not
Right.
possible, but I might find a probable solution for you. But the problem in the market today is when you go and sell, or you're marketing a product, you say, hey, listen, A, B, C, D, E, F, 100% possible. And that's where, this is a very simple example I'm giving you. But when I get into the drill downs of something, somebody's talking
Right.
about a search campaign or a display campaign, or what Performance Max can do for your account, or what can display do, what a YouTube campaign can do.
No,
A
you have
whole
broken
plethora.
this down very beautifully because we have been talking about this on our podcast since last 2 or 3 episodes.
Mhm.
Segmentation is important, giving the right solution is important, then only selling comes. You have to position yourself, everything, like all of this. So what you have
Well,
to.
that is something most 99% of the people don't realize, that selling comes at the end. It doesn't begin with selling.
And
So
yeah, in the market these days, and especially in our industry, if you see maximum freelancers, maximum agencies that have newly started, they do this mistake. Even initially we did, but when Ashwin came in, we also realized what to do, how to do. Selling is not just talking, pushing down the throat that you need this. It's rather building that relationship and then talking. So I totally relate with what you have just said. This is a very important thing for our audience who is watching this episode. Please take a note of this. We have been shouting.
perfect, man. And I really love what I do. So I love helping others. Like, if somebody has a problem, I'll always help them, regardless of whatever they have. Even if it is dropping somebody from A to B place, so that's the kind of help I can give. But coming back to our jobs and our the world which we live in, again, I was saying artificial intelligence versus human intelligence. The best part is we can still talk to each other, and now that has become more easier for us, because you have a Zoom, you have a Google Meet, so you can talk to people more. But coming back to the point, getting businesses from a 1x to a 4x to a 10x, it can happen, and it has happened with me. I have a few success stories as well as an entrepreneur. We moved one of the businesses from $60,000 in 2019 from to almost like COVID. We got lucky. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world, but COVID 2021, that business hit approximately $21 million in a quarter. And they sell snowboards and paddleboards in the US. And of course, huge kind of I would say shout out to one of my partners. His name is Sunny. He worked really hard on that account, and we, kind of made some amazing business from that company, and they're still with us. They sell snowboards and paddleboards not only in the US today, but they have businesses in Australia and Canada as well. So they expanded to 3 countries. So that's what I would say. Sometimes I feel that you have 50 businesses and you're not doing justice to them. But I believe have 5 or 6, scale them. Think as if it's your own business. This is how I do it, Ashwin,
Mhm.
Anmol.
You're right.
And it's
Right.
been 4 years now, and I might have just 7 businesses under my belt, under my kitty, but I'm
Mhm.
growing them. And the
True.
rest, I'm helping, I'm consulting with these guys. Every week, I talk to these 3 to 5 new businesses. They tell me, hey, I want to do business with you. I said, no, sir, I don't have bandwidth. So, but I can certainly help you when the problem arises. And then,
Right.
that's how. And there are a lot of times when in the US, you charge for a consult,
Right.
Anmol, Ashwin. But in
Right.
India, you might not charge, right?
Right.
So that's how it is. So this is how my investor talks to, my partner talks to people like, hey, listen, talk to this guy.
Uh,
If you like him, buy him a coffee. By that, he means pay him his hour consult. And if you don't like him, he'll buy you the coffee. 99% of times, guys, I get the coffee. So, I mean, my coffee bill is paid. So it's not about the coffee, guys. It's about how you treat the client or the customer, how you talk to them, what kind of knowledge base we have acquired over the years. That's very important, because
Right.
if you have come in life the harder way, I think it pays off, because the
right.
kind of failures I've faced in those years, when I was on the field, when I was on the phones, when I was with my team, and when I used to be on that fire. You call it fire, right? You're on fire when you have an escalation
Right.
from the US, and then how you change that escalation into a root cause analysis and change that into a success story. But coming back to the point, sale, say I would say a 10x sale is equivalent to the number of years you have worked towards the relationship building. That's why I say network is equal to net worth is equal to network is equal to net worth. I said this to Anmol as well when I spoke to him the very first day.
Right.
Of course, this comes from Warren Buffett. I'm not kind of, I'm not a genius that I have coined this. No, because when you make networks, you
Right.
build,
True.
and that journey of building is very important, I would say.
Right. So Samir, what is your take on the current trends in the field of the digital marketing industry, especially in India? Like, and what is the future of Google Ads in India?
Good question. So, marketing 360 as a whole and Google Ads in India, I would say, Google still holds that 60% of the edge over the other platforms. However, Bing is taking over these days. But in India, a lot of people don't know Bing. So I would say, automation is the new name of the game. A lot of things are changing.
Right.
Generative AI has come into the picture, and you might have come across those kind of tools where where you get to know, hey, which campaign is not spending the most, or which campaign is losing out on the budget for you when it comes to the search or the display campaigns, and then we can always maneuver the budgets and get it off. So those kind of things have become pretty business as usual now. But if you talk about in the next 5 years, things will become more faster, because if you've seen in 2021, a lot of people moved out of Google, or
Mhm.
were moved out of Google, I would say.
Right. Right.
Be it the Google or Google team, or even the other teams as well. When it comes to their, be it Cognizant or Accenture, a lot of people were either benched or moved out. So
Right.
it's not about people moving out.
Mhm.
AI is a tool which artificial intelligence will get people to will get new kind of jobs in the markets, and
Right.
it will affect the social media and the digital marketing ecosystem altogether. Be it Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything.
Mhm.
AI will affect these platforms. Uh, 2 years ago, if you would have asked me this question, I would say the life cycle of these campaigns would have been till 2024 or 25. I'm
Mhm.
sitting in 2024 right now, and
Right.
we are staring at a lot of those kind of things.
Correct.
I mean, I've spoken this to a lot on a lot of my consults where I've told them that, like, hey, listen, it has a 3 hour life cycle, a 3 year life cycle, but we never knew that AI will come in like a ghost in the room, and then it will transform itself like I would say, a problem solver for everybody, and
Right.
everybody likes solving problems, right? So
Right.
I will not say that AI will take away our jobs. I'm not saying that at all.
No, even we don't believe that. We don't believe that. We believe that AI will only make our lives easy, and I mean, we will
Tools.
be able to do something that is more suitable for the humans. So AI can take care of the lowly jobs, and while we can do more quality work.
Absolutely. So it will evolve. Google will also evolve with AI. And because they are a company now almost 25 years old,
Mhm.
and the other players are also around, like the big guys, like Amazon is there,
Mhm.
so they are also evolving with, and they want to tag along. Like
Mhm.
Facebook and Google are tagging together. Apple
Mhm.
and Google are tagging together because
Right.
they want to work in cognizance with each other. They
Right.
don't want to work in silos, which used to happen if you go back a decade ago. Hey, you
Right.
know what? My revenue is at number one. This guy's revenue is number three. But now those
Right.
guys are working together. So
True.
AI is actually building versus taking away things.
Right.
But I do understand, and I might be wrong if I don't mention this. A lot of people did lose their jobs, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that it'll AI will make it up for them in the coming months, quarters of
Hopefully.
the year. This or the years, because
Yeah.
I know of a fact that a lot of the guys, of the IT guys, IT companies are hiring again now. So
Yes.
uh,
Right.
s-
So
I
so
might not speak much about the jobs, but
right.
when it comes to the Google and the corresponding relationship with AI, that's the builder now. That's the name of the game, I would say.
Okay, so
If I
sitting in
answered your question.
2024. Yeah, so sitting in 2024, what is your prediction now? I mean, 3 years ago you
A
made a
good
prediction, but
question. Prediction. I'm not a predictor, but I would say, evolution is the name of the game. Like I started my conversation with evolution because
Mm,
we keep evolving. When I used to go and talk to those guys, and I used to talk about traditional advertising medium versus online advertising, how you can move this budget from A to B, from A, that is traditional advertising, to online advertising. Today, it's completely different. So now I would say, you know you if you talk about lean teams, you have to talk about uh, you have to talk about the kind of I would say tools you're using in your business. That's very, what kind of intelligent tools you're using, and who are using it. That's very important,
yes,
because
who is
I have to
using
have
is very
those
important. Yes,
I
yes,
have to have those skillful guys who are, data scientists. You would not hear about them 10 years ago.
right. So
But
it's
I
not the
need to have a
machine; it's
data
basically
scientist.
the man who's handling the machine, basically.
Yeah, I need to have a data scientist today in my team. I might not have to give him one Apple laptop. I have to give him two big screens,
Right.
and make s- make sure the data crunching happens daily, monthly, weekly, quarterly, as well as yearly. Those are the kind of things which might help us, grow our business and see exactly how we can where we can save. But it's not a prediction, but I think AI will be there till the end of this decade, I would say.
Right.
It would do a lot of good to humankind,
Mhm.
be it any industry across. Because when you were talking digital marketing, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, we were talking B2B, B2Cs. It can help all the e-commerce businesses, and it did.
Right.
Now
It did that.
it's we are in 20, almost we're close to half of the decade is gone for 2020s, right? So I would say end of the decade, you might see a lot of things evolving. You might see those flying scooters and flying cars
Yeah.
coming into the picture. So,
Wow, I
but
can't
but
wait.
that, but it's not a prediction because I'm not a scientist per se. But over the years, the kind of experience I've had, I would say people are not going to lose their job. People are going to gain more from AI, and it's going to make life more easy for us. I don't want to put down anybody, but today, the kind of content builders we have seen over the last few years, last 1 or 2 years, the creators,
Right.
we've seen like that like never before. If I came
True.
out of my school and I put up a post there that, hey, I'm a content creator. I mean, I wouldn't have thought when I passed out my college
No,
2001.
no, I
It's
completely
a,
agree. Yeah.
and if I see that a 21-year-old doing that, I mean, kudos to technology, guys, because I was just having this conversation, and I'm not digressing. My wife moved out of a full-time job, 18-year-old job, banking job in 2022. And she was talking to me a few days ago, and she told me that, hey, Savio, listen, all the discoveries, jitne bhi discoveries hue hain, all the discoveries have happened in the last quarter,
Mhm.
last century. In
Mhm.
this century, there are no discoveries that have happened. We are just eating the fruits of discovery. That's what's
True,
happening.
true, true, true. I mean, even if you look at the music industry, we are not doing anything new. We're just simply remixing the same old good stuff that
So,
that was done.
so I
So
told her that, if I would have done this, and I showed her a few content creators who like, hey, listen, I'm making $1 million. Amazing, man. Hey, listen, I'm making $2 million. And people like, what? I mean, I have been working for 60 years and I've not been able to make $1 million. So I think that's the prediction in the future. That
right.
that's why I believe that, when you talk to the young guys, probably they might know more than me, but they are pretty swift and agile, and that knowledge transfer is amazing. And
Right.
there's one knowledge transfer that comes from those batch of the guys who are in the 50s and the 70s. That my partner is 70, he's a senior, but the kind of knowledge base he covers over generations, like, right from the 60s, 70s. Ashwin, he's from the Hollywood music industry. He was an ex-veteran, and then he started Global Digital Online in 1993. So I
Okay.
think you are also part of the music bandwagon, I believe. So that's why
Of
I'm
course, of course, of course,
that's
of course. I think you and I were the same generation.
yeah. So
Yes.
so the kind of things I've learned from him, I don't think, and my secret sources, I'm going to let it out. I talk to a lot of seniors, a lot people who are in that age group of 50 to 70, and I
Right.
get to learn a lot because they are the ones who have had the maximum failures. Probably
Right.
they're the ones who discovered things, and now they're sitting out and seeing these young guys, move
Yes,
fast in
yes.
life.
I mean, look at what the kids were doing in the late 60s and 70s. I mean, I feel jealous. And even early 80s, life was amazing. I mean, those guys, what those guys were doing, uh, I mean, what has been achieved in that part of time. When I speak to my father, he says, what the stuff that we have done, you can't even imagine. You'll never be able to
Oh
do it.
yes, absolutely. It's a salute to that generation, man, because those are the guys who built.
Yes.
If you see movies like Oppenheimer, we saw how
Oh,
the inventions happened. It
yes.
was the movie got the best. It just steamrolled over the Oscars this year.
I
It
mean,
got almost everything.
everything has been done already, done and dusted in that period of time. I mean, we just reproducing stuff out of it.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
when my wife put that seed in my mind, I was like, yeah, there's nothing happened. Yeah, no discoveries in the last 20 years. Chalo, kuch, let's discover something. But
Yeah.
again, coming back to the point, what you said, predictions, Savio, turn of this decade, a lot of things might change. I'm not repeating what the scientists have said, but yes, AI will not make life difficult for people. It will make life more easier
Mhm.
for people. And we should actually, kind of put more and more emphasis on these kind of tools, and we should work towards it because uh, I don't think 10 years ago there was a PhD in digital marketing.
No.
20 years ago, sorry. But I remember 2015, one of my friends told me that he's in Philadelphia University,
Yes.
and he's on LinkedIn as well. Probably he might see this podcast. He's finished his PhD. He was talking to me sitting at the back, and that time he was not a PhD. He was my colleague, and he's telling me, Savi, you know what? I'm going to do a PhD. He's like, what are you going to do a PhD in? He's like, I'm going to do a PhD in digital marketing from Philadelphia
And
University.
you were loving your job.
I was like, okay. I mean,
In
and he's a
2015,
PhD now. He is a
PhD in
PhD
digital
now
marketing. Yes,
as we
yes.
speak. As we
Way,
speak.
way ahead
So
of time, his time. Way ahead of his time.
Of course, I just want to let you know, guys. Even I'm looking for a PhD, but probably I have to change that topic from digital marketing to generative AI or
Probably something
uh,
like that. Yeah.
uh, you know, uh, artificial AI generated digital marketing tools, something like that. So Guys, that's my dream to do a PhD. But yeah, of course, it's a very difficult and things to do with two children in the house, 1 year old and 4 year old.
Right.
Uh, but again, coming back to the point of Ashwin, there is a lot coming up. I would say in the coming years, and I think I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
No, no,
Those
no, thank you
17
for
years
being here.
Thank you
Thank
for being here. It was a amazing episode. Gave us a
those
lot of
17 years those 17 years have defined my career, I would say. I learned a lot from JP Morgan Chase. I learned a lot in ADP, though I was used to sit for 12 hours on the desk and I don't know what I did. But I knew that I am earning some good bucks there. But
right.
then when I started this whole thing of Google ads and the Google UK team, the Google India team, the US team, then I realized that how life can change if you take your career seriously. I think things can change for you over a period of time. Of course, you today you can become an entrepreneur as soon as you're out of college. But
Mhm.
I it took me almost like 2020 2001. I graduated, and now it's 2024. So 2020 I started my entrepreneur journey. So yeah, I think it's defined a lot of things. But coming back to the point, I think I give all the credit to the inventions and discoveries that happened in the past, and the kind of journey I've had with my colleagues and the guys who have been in my organizations. I would say I've learned a lot from my colleagues and my bosses as well. I have had some amazing people around me, I would say. And sometimes I feel that there are a lot of people who crib about, hey, it's not happening for me. I'm working for 12 hours or 15 hours, or it's not happening. And those are the guys who are still there. I don't want to name them. And 2020, when I said goodbye to the corporate world after almost 17, 18 years, a lot of people thought that, hey, this guy is like kidding. What the hell will this guy do without us? Something like that. A lot of people thought about it, and you can gauge the vibe of people, right? But
True.
2020, I moved out, flew to Los Angeles, started my journey as a digital marketing entrepreneur, and today I'm sitting here. I've got a lot of offers in the last 2 3 years from different organizations, the top five, I would say. And respectfully, guys, they have been instrumental in kind of in probably shaping up my entrepreneurial journey, because they are the big five, big 10 guys. So I have said no to those guys. So so
Right.
so the reason is because again, networking. Like you keep talking to people, you keep growing, you keep uh, you know uh, uh, kind of solving the problem of the customer. That's very important. It
Right.
can be as silly as, hey, listen, my pixels are not working on my website, or how the transition happened between GA3 and GA4. I
yes.
mean, I got the maximum number of queries between GA3 and GA4, and I got consults there. Even a Googler might not have got those many consults. I think I might have consulted 120 businesses.
Wow.
Migration from GA3 to GA4, and I
Right.
learned a lot from there. And
Right.
how did I learn? I went to the Google Help Center. I spoke to a lot of marketing experts. I spoke to a lot of Google experts,
Right.
and then the back and forth happened. I think this was the biggest pain point in the last 2 years. I'm sure you might know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yes,
about.
we have also faced the same. It was a very stressful period, I will say.
So yeah, I think Ashwin, I'm talking a lot. You're
No,
listening
no,
to
no, no, no.
Anmol.
You're here to talk. So,
Yeah. But I think I hope I answered those questions which you
Yeah, yes,
asked.
you
yes,
have
yes,
answered
yes,
all
yes.
the questions that we wanted you to answer, and you have answered them perfectly. And it has given us a lot of insights that would have that no one can get from the internet because you have worked directly with Google.
Yeah, they're
So,
literally getting it from the horse's mouth.
exactly.
Yeah.
So our audience would love it, and many of our audiences marketers, so they are going to get a good insight into the things that have been happening with Google. So.
Absolutely, guys. But it was, I mean, it's always amazing to talk to Anmol. I would say, Anmol, you've been like always, you
And
know,
I'm meeting you for the first time on a podcast, so it was amazing meeting you, Savio. It was great
Yeah,
talking to
it
you.
was amazing talking
Yeah,
to you. It
yeah,
was amazing.
yeah, I mean, it's always good to talk to the same industry guys. But I think our
yes,
industry also is so diverse that
it
we
is.
can talk to even aerospace scientist or
Yeah,
Right.
like
yeah,
any
Like we can
industry.
we can have a conversation with pretty much everybody.
everyone needs marketing.
Yes.
Absolutely, and that's what I love about us. That if I'm sitting at an airport, if I'm traveling in an Uber, if
Right.
I'm sitting in a Starbucks somewhere in New York City, and I start talking to people and tell them that, hey, listen, I'm part of the digital marketing industry. Like they're like, what? So,
Hmm.
so that's the
We get
best
that
part
too.
about it.
Yeah, we get that too. People don't know. People
Yeah.
don't know.
But yeah, it is amazing, this industry. That is the beauty. You can talk to anyone and everyone. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. I used to visualize this thing when I used to sit on my chair and I used to have that free time. I used to visualize that I'm talking to somebody in New York City, or I'm talking to somebody in Florida. Trust me, guys, I did that. I used to visualize that I'm talking in person to somebody. Uh, Table, chair, Starbucks at the background, and I'm talking. And in the last 4 years, I've been doing that in person. So
Imagine.
I believe visualization plays a huge role, guys. But of
yeah,
course, years of I will not say hard work, but years of toil and the kind of learnings you get. Life lessons is very important,
yeah,
because
Right.
if we don't get life lessons, man, I don't think we're going to go
Right.
anywhere.
Right.
right. So it was amazing having you, Savio, on this episode. I think you
Yeah.
have covered it all.
One of the best episodes, I guess, we've
Yeah.
had.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ashwin.
Thank
Ashwin,
you.
I wanted to tell you, I remember that Anmol told me that my partner is in the music industry. So I was like, okay, so it'll be good to talk to Ashwin
Hospitality.
one day, because my partner is also from the music industry.
Okay, I'm not the one from music industry, but I used to be I'm from the hotel industry. I think Anmol must be talking about David with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So
I
Ashwin
thought
yes.
you were the guy from the music
No,
world.
no, no, no. But yeah, I pursue music very passionately. So it was one of my
Okay,
favorite
got it.
yeah topics. Yeah. So Anmol must be speaking about
Yeah,
David.
yeah. David,
He's
David,
one of our
Davis Media Group.
partners in Canada, and he is from that industry.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's nice.
yeah, he has
Great.
his recording studio and everything. So
Oh, that's great.
I'm from the hospitality background. So yeah, and
So
now
hospitality in the sense, like you've always been in the hotel industry?
yes, I've always been in the hotel industry. I mean, over
Hardcore
the
hotelier.
hardcore hotel, yeah. And so I started with operations, then got into sales and marketing, then got into digital marketing with Anmol. So yeah, so that's my background.
Great, man. Great. I mean, amazing to talk to you guys. I think we can
Pleasure
probably have
having
an offline
you.
conversation as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. We will.
we must do that.
We
Yes.
must have. But yeah, pleasure having you on this episode, Savio. It was
Thank
great.
you very much,
You
Anmol,
shared
Ashwin.
insight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
We
Savio. Thank you so
love
much.
to have you.
Appreciate your valuable time, guys. Cheers.
Hey, no, thank you.
Our
Thank you.
viewers, do subscribe, do like, and I'm going to put the links in the description for this episode. You can follow Savio on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for watching in again, and we will be getting back to you with another episode of the Young Tech Dialogues.